Good evening, Ruskin enjoyers. Happy to right, 'cause it's time for the 48 analysis. Basically, in this video, I'm going to look at all the current Rustore skins, make comparisons to previous Rustore skins to get a good idea in regards to, well, how much each of these skins sell by next Thursday, and now knowing that, we'll then question, are these skins still holding up to being perfectly fine investments, or are there any potential problems that you need to be aware of? So sit back, relax, and let's start yapping. So let's get started. First 24 hours of sales, and the top selling skin is the Crown. So this interesting combination, people do seem to appreciate the roleplay aspect. Oh, so wonderful. Well, come on now, you want to be the king of the server? But a cap skin, not too hard to get a hold of. Very silly hat wear. Like, I don't really envision another Crown type of skin being produced. There might be a Twitch drop or something in the future, you never know. But for what I see here, it's looking pretty good. I can see it probably working out nicely. Now, it was one of the skins I thought potentially might be an interesting skin as investment in my predictions video and whatnot. Also consider watching my Rust rotation video to get a good look at these skins as a pair. But 8,500 subscribers, not too bad, and that's kind of like good compared to some previous weeks, that's for sure. So alright, yeah, and the cape, or rather the jacket, looking good, but then again we do have like other things we can compare to, so I'm still a bit and of course with the weapons, the Black Ops Sar potentially brewing into a brand new interesting black weapon collection. We've got Popstar potentially brewing into a nice colourful potential weapon collection, so that's cool. Protect Garage Door, some people were surprised with the comparisons I showcased in my Rust rotation videos, so they're like, oh damn, I should have known about that. Well, watch the videos. So yeah, okay, that's looking cool. Medieval Hammer, not really selling too much. It's only got 5,500 subscribers. And the Ultramarine hoodie and pants. I swear, with the previous skins, it was very similar. Oh, that might be interesting to talk about. And then the skins down over to here, small box and the night backpack, not selling too much, but it's not like selling next to nothing. So still holding up quite nicely. Right, let's now show the first 48 hours of sales. Now, just to point out, I'm recording this quite late. I've been taking part in Rexmore and Jack Shepherd's last AK Medieval RP event. So it's actually the morning for me at the moment, but this is what it was at 48 hours. So yeah, progressed quite nicely, an extra like 50% for all the items here. But let's now actually show you what it currently looks, and this is what it looks like right now. So of course, we're going to go through all of these skins based on top selling skin and figure out how much they're likely going to sell by next Thursday. It's not always like 100% correct, but usually in general I'm fairly close. Now, do take this into consideration as extra context. With the recent Rustores, their Rustores rotated a lot earlier compared to this Rustore. This Rustore rotated at like 9 PM. Valentine's rotated at like 5, and Primitive update came out at like 6. That's all based on London time. Don't forget, Face Punch is based in the UK, and that's where the updates usually kind of follow suit. So yeah, this came out a few hours later compared to the previous weeks, is the point I'm trying to get across. So when we make these assumptions for how much they're likely to sell by next week, might come across as a bit awkward when we do some comparisons. You'll find out in a bit. So let's get started then. Let's do the Red Monarch Crown and the Monarch Cape together. So what could we compare to? Well, quite recently we did see another interesting, pairing. Gimmick sort of set, Friar head wrap and Friar shirt. Well, that did 9,000 plus subscribers, and the shirt did 8,500. But what I also happened to see is like the blacksmith's face mask, night sleeping bag, and the blacksmith's chase plate. That's just over 8,000, and this is just up to at 9,000. So I could look at all of these basically, is what I'm saying, and kind of get like a nice conclusion because, well, that is just under 8,000, and that's comfortably over 8,500. Let's go see what the final result for the primitive skins that we just kind of discussed. So as we look over to here, as you can see, well, that eclipsed these. Yeah, it did. It just kind of happened at last minute. I guess with it being abnormal, we did the borders, we looked at it, and it looked pretty appealing compared to all the other skins. So, all right, fair enough. That reached up to 17,300 subscribers. This over here, 15,600 subscribers. So, looking at the current state of these, you might notice they're already kind of like matching up to those types of sales. So I don't think I can do it, exact sort of like a comparison here, and just assume this. Now those two skins are only going to reach between 15 to 17,000 subscribers. It's a little bit off. So I'm going to have to add in some, extra context of people seem to like this a lot. It's selling very nicely at the moment. If I were to make a comparison. And then add the context to how this is currently selling, I think a better way of looking at this is I think this is going to probably do between 17 to 20,000 subscribers. Now, knowing that, is that perfectly fine for a cap? Well, just want to bring this to your attention. That would make this the highest ever selling cap. And right now, it's getting very close to that already. No. It just falls short to the poker player cap. I completely forgot about that one. But anyway, that still worked out quite nicely. All of these kind of worked out nicely because we don't get that many cap skins. Yes, I know we got 2 in a row in the past 2 weeks. I know, very silly, very funny, but I really don't expect that many more cap skins to be produced. That's the current expectation. And all of these down here, they're evergreen. You basically get them as free drops every now and then. When you get free skins, you either get t-shirts or well, sometimes you get loot boxes and whatnot, but you get the idea. So anyway, I reckon this is going to be doing 17 to 20,000 subscribers. I had to kind of like correct it a fair bit. We'll see how it all turns out, but I think that could still work out nicely, purely based on its gimmick. But the jacket, we had so many jackets being accepted last year, and of course we had that Twitch drop, which looks incredibly similar, and that's free. And you probably already own this because you got it for free. It's a Twitch drop. And who knows? Maybe in the future we'll see even more jacket skins that are very similar. But for now, that cap right there, unique compared to pretty much everything else. I don't think we'll be seeing anything very similar to it. But this happened too many times already. So let's now move on and talk about the weapons, because I've got to kind of just bring this up. The weapons sold very similar amounts, 7,400 and 7,500. Like there's 50 subscribers difference. So, all right, fair enough. Can we do a nice comparison? Well, if I were to look over to here, we have all of the skins over here for Valentine's. I could also go a little bit further back. I could remember that we also had some interesting looking Lunar New Year weapons. We had the Ophidia there with 7,300, and we had the Celestial Core pushing up to about 8,000 subscribers. Now, are we going to have to make any adjustments as we do these comparisons? Well, let's just quickly remind ourselves of Valentine's. Valentine's skins here, they only went between 15 to 17,000 subscribers. And then if we go a little bit further back, looking at those weapons for Lunar New Year Week 1, that only went to 14,000 subscribers, and this MP5 only went up to 16,000 subscribers. So I look over to here. I see these are currently at 12,000 subscribers, basically. Seems a little bit off. So I'm looking at them, and I'm making considerations, and I'm expecting that these weapons are probably going to reach around maybe 15 to 18,000 subscribers. I think I could probably push that up a little bit more, maybe 16 to 19,000 subscribers. I don't think these will reach 20k, but it's still like a fair bit more compared to what we've seen in the previous weeks. So let's see if we get an early rush door next week or another fairly late one. That would make a little bit of a difference. But overall, that amount of that amount of sales for these skins, not too bad. I mean, I could do a quick comparison to the AK for the Black Ops. Yep. So Black Ops AK did 29,000 subscribers. Still holding up quite nicely though. As I've said, every now and then we seem to be getting a brand new black collection in Rust. At least yearly now. If you were to quickly just kind of look at, let's go look up face masks, for example. That'd be a very easy way of going about it. I can't help but assume we're probably going to end up with a Black Ops like full set. Here we go, metal face mask. So what did we get last year? Well, we got, Black Diamond. We got Commando. Hey, we got it. We weren't complaining too much. Every time we got a new core piece being accepted, skin spiked and mon spiked in price. Worked out nicely. And the weapons, they held up reasonably. We are expecting them to perform better when times are good, aka summertime and post-Christmas time, and they did. Now, when you go to the previous year, oh look, Legacy Kevlar, and you might consider, Pirate Collection as well. You go down a little bit more, where is it? Black Gold, yeah, Dragon Rage. So yeah, every single year we're probably getting a Black Collection, probably two. This might be special now. What might come out a little bit later this year? Well, skin creators start brewing ideas. So anyway, that looks like it could still work out quite nicely with more sales, more skins being produced afterwards. And I am aware that we have a Thompson now. It's been submitted to the workshop, so I think this is looking to be pretty appealing. The only issue is if we keep seeing more and more and more black, awesome, sleek style collections being produced, well, you're going to have to be making some comparisons. Just a few days ago, this was listed at $1.55, this Commando Sar, which is pretty much very similar, but effectively half the price. How many people are just going to consider looking at that and say, no, I'll just buy that instead? You do have to make those comparisons. You do have to take that into consideration. But if we keep seeing more and more of that Black Ops collection, yeah, I think that could be working out nicely for it. But that's, something for us to discuss when we do the abnormal barders. Popstar, it's nice to see that we got the new skin being accepted. I'm pretty sure RR3 will be producing even more cool looking designs. What weapons would you like to see with the anime style? You should go to their workshop page and comment. So, okay, that's lining up quite nicely. Yeah, the more the merrier. Will we get Popstar Clothing and Armour? Popstar Deplorables was attempted. Don't forget about that. If we could just quickly go back over to here with the Popstar collection, don't forget we had the large box and the backpack. I mean, just a resubmission later this year. I'm sure that could work out nicely. I'm sure a version 2 would be accepted. It's just timing usually. So, okay, things are still looking appealing, but we'll talk more about that with the abnormals, of course, next Wednesday. Let's now talk about the Protector garage door. So, part of me thought maybe I could just go back to that fairly recent garage door. Not the Mystic one, the Ice High garage door. But that ended up doing 19,000 subscribers, which I think is a fair bit way off, maybe, potentially. So let's just quickly go back to that Rust door. Was it the second week of January? Or was it the third week? It was the third week. There you go. Yep, here we are. Yeah, 19,000. I don't think it'll be reaching that much. I'm not sure. I think it'll get close, but not like exactly that. And that does sound quite appealing. So, first of all, let's do like an actual proper comparison if we can. Let's just try and see if we can match up to anything. So, let's go over to here. That reached 7,300 subscribers. Right now, though, as we can quickly see, that's currently sitting here at just over 11,700 subscribers. It's in a pretty good spot. I could probably just do a very similar number here, but no. I'm looking at this. I think it is, I mean, you never know. When we do the abnormal barders, people are probably going to consider, you know what? I think that could work out nicely. Because we have to remember, when it comes to Protector, whilst it has a very interesting setup with the transparency and the glow in the dark, we have things we can compare to. Now, when it came to the sheet metal double door, no, we didn't actually have anything we could compare to. But that sheet metal door there, we had Bombshell, we had Brutalist, which were more expensive. But you could also compare to Juggernaut sheet metal door, and that was down to $1. Well, with the arrival of this garage door, this was sitting at at its worst, like $1.10 at one point, a good few weeks back. But now it's risen back up to just over $2. So the more the merrier, clearly. Oh, yes. So, all right, it's nice. People seem to appreciate it. I think this could probably, it's going to actually, yeah, I think we can expect that this is going to do very similar numbers to these. So, all right, then, we'll match it up with these two. But keep an eye out, all right? The transparency in it, someone did say, Hedge, just put a furnace down, you can easily see through it and whatnot, and they seem to be satisfied with that. Hey, that's up to you. But is it actually going to maintain that $3.49 price? That's the question. I could imagine it'll go down a fair bit at some point, but let's leave that for the abnormals when we do them Wednesday night. Let's now talk about the medieval hammer. So, one thing I can immediately do is do the quick comparison with the Harbour Seal hammer, because as I said, the medieval hammer did just about 5,500 subscribers. This right here was the most recent hammer to be accepted. It was like the 4th best-selling skin out of all of these, and as you can see over here, this is the 6th, fairly close in terms of position, and if we can remember, that Harbour Seal hammer, it didn't sell a ridiculous amount, but it still sold like a fairly decent amount, so as you can see over to here, that did 13,690 subscribers, but the minimum sales, it seems to assume there might be more, and you should always respect that. With subscriber counts, that's the bare minimum sales. That's the amount of people that bought the skin. We don't know how many they bought each, though. So when you take that into consideration, So that dipped down in price a little bit, and now it's gone back up. I'm looking forward to this medieval hammer. I don't expect it to be huge gains, but I do expect it to do a very good job of retaining value. So as I look at it, and making considerations, let's actually do a proper comparison now. So what did 5,500 subscribers somewhat recently? I'm looking. Oh, we've got the lovely balloon cart. That's probably a very good thing to compare to. You could also do the love cap. So, all right, you know what? Let's go do that. Back over to here. Let's just go to the previous week. Now, that ended up doing 11,300 subscribers. The no love cap, just over 11,000 subscribers. Now, I look at the hammer here, 8,600. I reckon I'll probably do between 11,000 to 13,000 subscribers. I'll put some distance there. I can't help but assume some of us might be buying some after Wednesday night. It's not abnormal, though. That's one thing, though. That's not abnormal. We cannot do barders before the roster is rotated for that skin. But do you reckon we'll be seeing any more hammer skins being produced and accepted this year in Rustors? I can't say no, but based on what we've seen over the past few years, you'd probably assume no. But there's plenty more seasons ahead of us, and when it comes to holidays, we tend to see some interesting skins being accepted, but that wasn't a holiday, Hedge, was it? No, no. So you never know. I do see hammers being produced here and there every now and then, but it's not a norm. It's not a super regular thing to see. But with 2 being accepted so far this year, maybe other skin creators make considerations. Right then, so we'll leave it at that. Let's see if we get some, interesting continuations produced by Himmick as well. That'd be nice to see. But now we have Ultramarine hoodie and pants. And I'm pretty pleased with this, because the very second I saw this, I instantly said in my roster rotation video, in my predictions video, we have to see if this matches up nicely with the Tier 2 and the Tier 3. That's the main concern. As time goes on, so as long as the set, has very close, very similar, amounts of, quantity in circulation, if it remains in demand, all the skins in the set usually do very nicely. Typically, the kilt tends to perform a bit better, but anyway, as what I'm looking at here, it seems to be a few thousand sales off. But if I could do that nice comparison right now, I can confirm to you, with this sitting here at 4,800 subscribers, if I were to go back to the week that we saw the Tier 2, it's very similar. More specifically similar to the helmet and the vest. Kilt, as I said, tends to be the skin that works out the best out of all the, the armor pieces. So that usually gets a few more sales. And if we were to take a look at it right now, as you can see, so what was that? Week 2 or week 3? Week 3. Here, come on. We can see that this reached 12,000 to 13,000 subscribers. If it does land around there, that's fine. But if we were to just quickly compare to the Tier 3, as you can see, that did 10,600 subscribers and 10,600 subscribers. If this collection remains in demand, and let me tell you, the deplorables are doing a very good job of that, I can see this working out ever so nicely, and the Tier 3 skins might actually become the most valuable pieces, because there's not a lot less, but there's a few thousand less in comparison to the other skins. Usually, the core pieces with the least amount in circulation tend to be the most valuable, but, the kilt usually contends with that as well. And with the arrival of the hoodie and pants, of course, with a brand new core piece being accepted, the pre-existing core pieces were bought out, and the price rose ever so nicely. Now, it has kind of stagnated as of now. Saturday, that's kind of expected. But we could still look forward to some boots and gloves, maybe a jacket at some point. And will this potentially flourish during the summertime? You have to also be aware of this. No, it does not glow in the dark, all right? The clothing and armor doesn't, but the deplorables do. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people get that mixed up. So, all right. So I am expecting it to match up with the other, skins in the set. That is some positivity. And I think the clothing could work out quite nicely if you wish to invest into it. But it is the last core piece. You really do have to hope for some boots and gloves at some point in the future. You really do have to hope potentially to see a jacket. In general, it's just nice to see some more skins. But now it's a matter of, are we actually going to see it working out nicely? Do people actively want to use it? It's an interesting, cool looking blue set, but maybe people appreciate the deplorables. That is a bit of a concern. All right, so so what would be the expectation? That'd be between 11 to 13. Let's just kind of round it up. Let's go with 11 to let's go with 11 to 13,000 subscribers. Basically the same as the hammer. Close. It could be less though. That one I expect to sell more than these, but if it's between 11 to 13,000, both of them, that would probably do close to 13,000. This would probably do close to about 12,000. You get the idea, but maybe it might get some extra sales at the last second. These are abnormal, and that's not. So people might jump onto that after we've done the abnormal barters. That's the point I'm trying to get across. Large, small box. Let's now talk about you. So yeah, with these two skins over to here, they did not sell that much, and they are fairly similar with their sales. Do we have anything we can compare to? Yes, we do. We could go back to Lunar New Year, maybe. I mean, I could look at the Teddy Love Wooden Door. We'll do both. All right. So do we have anything here? No. But we do have. Not that. What am I looking for? Something did 4,000. Well, we got the Lunar Lantern sleeping bag. I remember that not really selling that much. We could do a comparison to that. Okay, yeah, we'll do that then. Right, so hopping out of here, looking at that 4,400 and this one doing 4,000. I can remember that sleeping bag, for example, only reached 9,000 subscribers. And out of all the skins, it's the one that's doing pretty good at the moment, up 35%. 9,800. So that went up to 10,000 pretty much. We will just say that. Now, in comparison to another skin that we can compare to, we have the Wooden Door here, 9,000 subscribers, basically, just over. So I reckon we could probably say between 9,000 to 11,000 subscribers for both of these skins over to here. Now, for the large small box, it's a funny gimmick. I will respect that. It's just, I don't know if that's going to hold it up enough. I don't think people will care enough. Yeah. I mean, if you do, by all means, like, you buy the skin if you like it. You go show some appreciation to the skin creator, give them some support, and they'll probably make some very similar funny designs in the future as well that you probably appreciate. So, yeah, you get the idea. But if you're looking at it as an investment, yeah, point made. Now, that is abnormal, but I did talk about this with the small boxes over the past few years. Questionable, yes, quite a lot of them not holding up very nicely. And as you can see, you got like Forest Raider small box there, Nucrum. Like, these are part of established collections, and yet, down in price, not terribly, but could be better. Even the Neon Storages, but Neon Storages sold a ridiculous amount. That's oversaturated. So overall, bit 50-50, but I'll just sit here and say stick with the Barda. Now, with the Night Backpack, it looked close to potentially being the lowest ever large backpack to be accepted, as in terms of overall sales, subscriber count, but it looks like Gold Chains is going to remain the king of that. I do expect it to sell more than 9,000, for example, but that potentially might be the second lowest. Could you potentially still sell more than a gingerbread backpack? We'll wait and see. But one thing I have not yet done is have a look at this in the desert with like some desert raiders. Like, at a distance, do you even notice the blue and the white? Is it light brown enough for people to appreciate? Because the only skin that's kind of working out nicely at the moment is the Desert Nomad backpack, and I'll quickly show that off to you right now. So here we are. Now, I'm still questioning the Valentine's backpack right here, but I think people just like it because it's all bright and pink. Bombshell's also doing alright. I want to quickly point that out as well, but yeah, out of all the initial skins that came out, this Desert Nomad backpack sold at $2.49, and that's sitting here close to $4. Whereas all of these, but yes, could this potentially contend with it? I've got to go do a comparison. We can make some question. We can question it and whatnot. So overall, yes, that was pretty quick today, wasn't it? Sorry if it was a bit like questiony. Sorry if I had to make some adjustments, but I can't help but assume that these are going to be doing a fair bit better compared to some of the skins we saw in recent times. So, alright, I'm sure you can accept that. So now you've got to sit here and question, right, well, is everything going to be alright as we approach March, April? Well, I've got to be honest with you, the player counts, it's been good. Peak player count today, 193,000. We're close to the end of the month, and we're still picking up numbers like that. Rust has evolved into some sort of beast which is just doing consecutively strong numbers. And, just around the corner, it looks like we're getting that crafting update, and we're getting the food potentially in March. I we'll see, We don't know until Facepunch certifies it on their Twitter. Like, in the first week of March, they'll put out a tweet and they'll basically say what's going to be coming for the next update. If we do see that, I think they're going to be going on a pretty good streak until the summer. Yeah. And when will the jungle biome come out? Don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. Let me put it that way. The player count has been consistently strong over the past, several months now. And if the player count's still holding up very nicely, I don't really expect skins to drop off that much. Now, the issue here as well, people can't see what's the top selling skins at the moment. So I don't think they even notice manipulations. That's another thing. You cannot notice it. So random skins might be popping up randomly, sitting there 3 times the price they were usually. Always remember to just double check the sales history, and if you can, look at all the barters and the the listings and whatnot. If it doesn't really match up, something suspicious is going on there. But if it ain't going down, will the prices follow? They have gone down a bit. They have gone down a fair bit since January. January was the peak, but if it don't go down all the way that much, I don't think we'll even see that much of a bad time, and then we'll just instantly approach the summertime. And if we, and I've got to point this out, if we do have the jungle biome coming out in the summertime, how big do you reckon the peak player count would be? And do you reckon it could be 260,000? Imagine this, the first big proper biome update that we've ever had in Rust, with tigers and crocodiles maybe. I think crocodiles will come out at the same time. They're expected to be in swamps and other sort of areas. But the tigers, I bet you they're going to have a trailer with a tiger hunting someone. I practically foresee this, because that is the gimmick with them. They're smart, they're strong, and they will hunt you. Oh, yes. And then, of course, the brand new foliage, the brand new, trees and whatnot. And the monuments, yes, jungle ruins, interesting trees. Apparently you're going to be able to swing on them, and there was mentions of a brand new jungle-themed building skin. So lots of things have been mentioned, and you'd know about that if you kept up to date with the commits. So always keep an eye on this. It's always linked in the description of this video. So that is basically everything. What am I planning to do next? I think I want to talk about the fridge skins. They were being bought out quite a lot. Just remember, you cannot see all the fridge skins if you type fridge in on the Steam market. The best way to go about it is type fridge on scmm.app, and then of course it'll say, would you like to look at the fridge type? Yes, and it will show you all the fridges, and of course the ones with like prices are the ones that are the marketable ones. But every single one of them is in the positive. They've all been bought out. They've all been bought out. And as we look at lovely balloon cart, remember this sold at $2. It's got barders at $2 already. It's got listings sitting there at $3. There are no listings happening. I think everyone's kind of hoarding them now. And don't forget, that also didn't sell that much as well. So, okay, things are looking very appealing. But are we going to start seeing more fridges being produced from here and now? It wouldn't surprise me, but we do have Easter just around the corner. So, are we going to see this cooking update actually come out in March? Gotta wait. But it's not too far away. We're getting close. February isn't that long, is it? So, let's just wait and see what happens next. And I think that is pretty much everything that needs to be said, other than I think I can mention this very quickly. Consider giving this video a nice watch. I'm obviously, like, always looking in the Art of Rust server. Mr. Da Vinci is a notable member, and he's been experimenting with wallpapers. You can do this if you look at the files and whatnot. And he's been finding out some very interesting things, and you watch this and you'll see some strange things that you would never even comprehended possibly being in Rust. And that he's found out even more since then. So give that a good watch and be freaked out. So that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.